Hey guys, Samurai here, back again with another episode of the Pokemon Sword and Shield series, Crown Zenith. In the last episode, Ash, Chase, and Lucas have just made it to the Isles of Armor and finished their initiation test. Meanwhile, on the Crown Tundra, Elaine and Peonia fought a Nidoking and a Nidoqueen, catching both of them respectfully. However, just as they were about to get in the nitty-gritty of their training, they got stopped by two blonde-haired siblings, being Lille and Gladion, asking if they were Pokemon trainers. Their conversation actually gets shown this time, and they ask if they could help them out with a mission that they have trying to search for their father, Mohn. Elaine recognizes Lily from one of Ash's old photos, asking if she's Lily from Alola. When Lily asks how Elaine knows of her, she says that her friend Ash showed a picture of her along with his bunch of other friends that he made in Alola. Asking if they can contact Ash, as Lily doesn't have Ash's Rotom phone number. They do, and this is why Ash is on his way to the Crown Tundra. Now, on the Isles of Armor, after Ash left, this is when Chase decides that he'll go do some training, and Lucas wants to go explore the island a bit. Chase wants to join him, however, Mustard says that he needs to have a conversation with Chase before they leave, and asks Freed to show Lucas around the island. Freed, seeing no problem with this, heads off with Lucas. This is when Mustard and Chase can finally have a conversation. Mustard basically asks if Chase thinks that he's a good trainer. Chase responds with yes, of course. He asks Chase if he considers himself to be strong. Chase responds with this, yes, of course. Now he asks Chase, does he have confidence in his battle style? Chase says that of course he does, as his battle style is the strongest. And this is when Mustard stops him, saying that that was the wrong answer. He doesn't have confidence in his battle style because, simply put, it's not his battle style, it's Ash's. Chase is mad by this, saying that everyone has told him this before, how he imitates Ash and it never works out, but he's always managed to win his gym battles and win other important battles because of it. However, this is when Mustard illuminates that a lot of that was due to luck or Chase changing a strategy last minute. Nothing ever works forever, and he needs to realize that he needs his own way to stand out from Ash. He asked Freed and his son to take him onto the online forums to see what people were saying about Chase, and they often called him stuff like Ash Jr., Ash number 2, or just Ash's shadow. Chase isn't too bothered by this, as Ash is the person he looks up to most in the world, so he doesn't see a problem with this. But then this is when Mustard says, does he want that to define his life? And this is when Chase generally has to think for a minute. This is the first time someone has actually gotten to him about his battle style, and he actually sits for a couple of hours with his own thoughts, confronting his past self about his journey and how most of his wins were probably due to luck or just on instinct. He realizes that he needs to find his own battle style, and this is when he asks Mustard if he would train him in his own style, and Mustard gladly agrees, and they start getting ready to train in the back dojo. Now we can go back to the Crown Tundra, as Ash has just gotten there. He meets up with Lille and Gladion again, along with Lucamine, and it's a joyous reunion as they're very excited to see him again. Elaine wondering if Ash needs her help with this. Ash actually tells Elaine to go ahead with her training, saying that she came here to train, and that this is his battle to win. Elaine is really happy to hear that from Ash and decides to go off with Peonia, Peony, and Rinto. Now Ash, Lily, and Lucamine can finally have a discussion. They talk about how Magearna has led them here to the Crown Tundra, and this is where they believe Mon is. After Gladion asked a bunch of citizens in the village in Freezington if they seen a blonde-haired man resembling the man in the photo, they pointed them to a house up north, and that's where they're heading. They all head to the house up north, and this is when Gladion asks Ash about his journey so far. Ash saying that he plans to enter the illustrious Galar League after getting 8 gym badges, and that he was actually in the middle of training. He introduces all of them to his new Pokemon, being Kubfu. Kubfu is really excited to get to meet new people off the island and warms up to everyone pretty well. They enter into the house with a blonde-haired man who's facing amnesia, saying that he actually is running late to pick up his daughter. When everyone's very confused and Lucamine thinking that Mon has found another family and is getting ready to give up, this is when they see a yellow Lily. It looks like how Lily used to look like, a lot younger. Everyone is confused by this, but however, Ash and Gladion piece it together. This might be an Ultra Beast, and it was a Nihilego, a shiny Nihilego, that made Mon think that it was Lily. In fact, this Nihilego grew close to Mon, as this was the first Ultra Beast Mon ever encountered. But due to Nihilego's bond with Mon, it decided to make Mon think that it was Lily. This is when Mon slowly starts to gain his memories about it. This is when Mon starts to gain his memory of his family and his past life, and everything comes back to him in a flash, remembering Lusamine, Lille, and Gladion. But he's not mad at Nihilego. They're actually happy for Nihilego keeping him safe for all this time, and Gladion in fact ends up catching Nihilego like he does in the original canon of the show. With all of this being said, this is when Ash decides to leave, saying that they didn't really need his help, but that he was glad to see them reunited again. They ask if he's willing to come back to Alola with them, however Ash has to deny this at this point, saying that he's going to head back to the Isles of Armor, as that he's going to get behind on his training and Lucas and Chase are going to get ahead of him. They all say their goodbyes and Ash heads out. This is when they're on the way back to the train, this is when Gladion kinda has a crisis on his hand. Well, more of an existential crisis. He doesn't know what he's gonna do after this. He has no idea if he wants to stay with his family and maybe stay in Alola, or go on a journey like Ash did. For their first round of...
In the middle of Gladion's dilemma, Peony is training Elaine, Peonia, and Rinto.
This is when Peony decides that they're going to catch 2 horse-like Pokemon, saying that he got clearance from Rose to actually bring them here to catch these 2 Pokemon specifically. These 2 Pokemon being known as a Cold Steed and the Ghost Steed themselves. They're all kind of confused about this, however Rinto's up for the challenge. However, this is when Peony says that Rinto will be going it alone as he's far above what Peonia and Elaine. Rinto is far above their level currently, so he's gonna handle the Glastrier alone. This is when Peony says Elaine and Peonia will handle Spectrier by themselves. They're all excited to do it and Rinto wishes them the best of luck. Rinto, of course, battles Glacier expertly as Peony watches just in case. He does incredibly well and all of his Pokemon are synchronized and hitting their mark perfectly. This is when Peony gives him an Ultra Ball, one of the first times we actually see it in the anime, to throw at Glacier, catching it without a problem. This is when we can flip back to Elaine and Peonia fighting Spectrier. Spectrier is definitely giving them a challenge. However, this is when Charmeleon finally has a reflection, realizing that it isn't as strong as it thought it was. It doesn't matter who her father is. Charmeleon is its own person. This is when Charmeleon gets engulfed by its own flames and evolves into Charizard. As a Charizard, it's incredibly powerful and uses its new move Air Slash to quickly subdue Spectrier, allowing Peonia to throw the Ultra Ball and catch it for Peony. They're all incredibly happy with their captures, however Peony says that he's going to be taking these Pokemon as Rose needs it for his experiment. They all don't think much of this and they all decide to go and continue their training, with Elaine and Peonia having a battle themselves, while Rinto decides to take his Pokemon to the Pokemon Center as he was fighting alone, so it put more strain on his Pokemon. This is when he runs into Gladion. Now, Gladion is still in his crisis, and this is when Rinto and him spark up a conversation. Gladion basically stating that he's conflicted on where he should go from here. He wants to start a journey, but he just doesn't want to leave his family after they got reunited. This is when Rinto says that he left his own family and he got much stronger because of it. Gladion is kind of offended by the notion, saying that he just got his family back, so why would he want to abandon them? This is when Rinto says that he never said for Gladion to abandon them, he just said what happened to him and how it made him stronger. He doesn't think that it would be the best part for Gladion, only Gladion can decide that. But he says that he can help him through a battle. If Gladion wins, he can stay with his family, but if Rinto wins, he'll go on a journey. Gladion, thinking that this is an easy way to decide it, agrees to the battle. He sends out Silvally, and Silvally currently is a fighting type. This is when Rinto sends out his trusty Pokemon, being Gallade. Gallade and Silvally have an incredibly tense battle, and both of them are around the same level in strength. However, Silvally does get the upper hand for a brief minute, and this is when Rinto brings out a Z move, almost knocking out Gallade. However, the problem with the Z move Black Hole Eclipse is if a Pokemon is strong enough, not even a strong Z move can stop it. This is when we see Rinto, using the ability Justified, is able to cut through the Black Hole Eclipse and nail a solid strike on Silvally, winning him the battle. Rinto saying that he doesn't expect him to take the bet so seriously and that Gladion should do whatever he wants. But this is when Gladion decides that he's gonna go on his own journey. Now we can briefly cut back to Lucas and Freed exploring the island. They're exploring some caves near the ocean, and this is when they run into a remnant of the time-space arc, being a Hisuian Zoroark. This Hisuian Zoroark is going mad, as Hisuian Zoroark in those times didn't trust people as well, so it's going mad with its powers, and nobody knows how to exactly stop it, as it hates people. This is why the island was so abandoned at this point, because of Hisuian Zoroark. However, Lucas believes that he may be able to catch it and may be able to do something with it. So Lucas has an incredibly tense battle with it, with Freed helping him out, and they end up catching Hisuian Zoroark. Lucas to be exact. And now that brings us to the end of the Pokemon Sword and Shield series, Crown Zenith. In the next episode, I have to preface that the next episode will be a bit different. We're going to be seeing more pockets into their lives, as it will be the end of the arc and right before the league. So we're going to be seeing more pockets into their life. Think of it as like kind of like smaller stories that aren't too long and that aren't episode long plots. But with all that being said, Samurai out.